Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to welcome you guys to Up Close and Personal with Angela here on the Crew Podcast. I am super, super excited here to share another amazing author that is a part of the 100 Authors to Watch by Aspiring Authors magazine. If you guys have not been checking out these amazing authors, I want to encourage you guys to go over to our Aspiring Authors magazine 100 Authors to Watch page. We also have a blog that's featuring these amazing individuals. We also they're on YouTube. They're on all social media platforms that are attached to the Crew Podcast. Not only you guys are going to be able to hear them on our network. The link is being shared, so you're going to be able to go over and hear anything that has to do with the Crew Podcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. You can just go over, be inspired, be encouraged, be educated. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm excited about 2025. So I hope you guys are excited about 2025. I'm going to move out the way and allow my guest to come up and introduce herself and share just a little bit about who she is and what she's doing and what you guys can expect for 2025. So, welcome, Miss Cheryl, to the
Mhm.
platform. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I am doing fine this evening, and thank you, Miss Angela, again for giving me another opportunity to be on your platform. My name is Cheryl Northern LeGrand. I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey, but I reside in Knightdale, North Carolina. I have three young adults, 19, 21, and 23. I'm also a cancer survivor. I also was told that I had lupus about 15 years ago. They also told me about my heart. But through all things with Christ, all things is possible. And at any given time, it doesn't matter what your situation is.
Um, so, what has been like? What pushed you into authorship?
And what pushed me, I have a family member that's an author. And when I was going through a divorce, she came to my house, her and some other young ladies, Miss Debbie Foreman, and she said, "You have a story to tell." And at that time, I was basically just working with the children. And we can say that we can't do something, but God already knew my direction before I got to this point. And when I started writing, I started off with no Wi Fi, just hotspot, and I didn't know where to start. But you know what? She said, "You got a story." So instead of me getting upset about me being with my ex husband for 20 years, I started writing. It became more of a healing process instead of a hurt process. I made a lot of mistakes. I got a little discouraged, but I kept pushing. And the more I pushed, the more I realized it was no longer about me. It was for another Cheryl, letting them know that guess what? You can move, but it got to start within your mind first. And then if you believe it, you can keep moving and you can keep going. So it was no longer about me. I took myself out and I wanted to show my young kids at the time that in life you're going to go through things, but it's how we handle it. It's not when we going through, it's not when it's done, but it's when we're going through. And that was my goal and my mindset at that time.
Wow, that's being able to share and help someone else that may be going through the same thing, and they can heal through seeing your process, and seeing how you overcame and how you pressed. Um, when I tell you, when the words say we overcome by the hearing and the sharing of testimonies, that is so true. Um, what has this journey been like? Are you a self-published author, or did you the traditional publish?
I started off self-publishing. Like I said, my family member, she helped me on the way, but most of my books are self-published that I did by myself. I did 5 books in a journal. Even now, as I'm speaking, I had a procedure on my mouth, um, but I was determined to get up here, even in the midst of me having a procedure. But that's how I got started. I got started by someone else, like how you do, coming up to me and say, "Guess what? You can do this." We have to be careful who we around, but it's also good to be around someone that will encourage you to grow as well as them growing. Instead of being envy or jealous, they said, "Guess what, sister? We can do this together." And that was truly a blessing in my life at the time. I needed to hear that, but most importantly, we got to believe in ourselves. So that's the key. It's okay for everybody to encourage us, but we have to believe in ourselves. And once we have a relationship with God, we know that He got us no matter what.
Wow. So for that person that may be thinking that their story is small, that their story can't make an impact, it does not matter. Well, what would you say to that person that think that their voice is small, or they're voiceless?
I would tell them this: we all have a story. That's number one. Each and every one of us have a story. You might have a different story, but we have a story. And I would tell them to step out of faith. A lot of times when we comfortable, we don't want to speak, or we don't want to talk, or we think somebody else is not going through. But guess what? Your story, it could be a child, it could be a man, or it could be a woman. You never know who it can help. And see what the enemy want us to do. He want us to be quiet, because he know once we get connected to Christ and our heart get right, then guess what? We'll speak and we'll help somebody else. As long as we isolate ourselves, no one can hear us. It doesn't matter what your story is. It's what's inside of you that's important. And I tell everybody that it's what's inside of you. Don't let nothing, your challenges, take over you. You take over your challenge, because for the rest of the life, there's always going to be something. But it's not the something, it's how we go through the something that make our life better, that give us strength and courage and motivate us so we can motivate others, because we're not here for ourselves. We're here to serve. There's nothing that we have is for us. And once we realize that, we can go ahead and push. Even so, what if you make a mistake? So if you do it wrong, it's okay. I'm supposed to have been up here too, and I'm just up here now. God will still work it out. No weapon will form when God is in control.
So you talk about mistakes, you talk about you have made some mistakes along the way.
Mhm.
So how have you handled reviews and criticism of your work?
How I handled it, it made me stronger. How I handled it, I realized I'm not perfect. How whatever I do, I try to teach my younger daughters. Then in life, you're gonna make mistakes. And now when mistakes grow up, a lot of people think mistakes are a failure. Mistakes is not a failure. It's like a lesson. What did I learn out of that lesson? What was the mistake about? I had misspelled words. I got up there self published. I did some things wrong. But you know what? I didn't quit. I kept moving over and over again. And that's what mistakes is about. It's supposed to grow us to another level. And I'm most uncomfortable, because guess what? What if everything was always right? Will we trust God? What if everything was right? Will we motivate somebody else? We have to tell other people it's okay, long as you being directed by God and being around positive people, it's okay to make a mistake, because that's how we grow. And I pray in my area of everything that I go through that my testimony is keep moving, keep growing, and trust God even when you make a mistake. Because that's how we grow in every area of our life, especially when we're uncomfortable and God trying to transform us, not the way Cheryl want, but the direction He want, and He will turn your direction around to get the glory.
So, what have surprised you the most about this experience? Has there been any time that you may have been surprised at maybe what you have learned, or anything that you didn't think that you could do that you were able to conquer on this journey of self-publishing?
With you, let me say this: when you asked us about poetry, and I listened to a lot of your podcasts, and I hear so many doing that. That was an uncomfortable situation, but I could say you pushed me to another level. We get comfortable in what we did last year, the year before, but you pushed me in so many different areas of my life, which has been truly a blessing. Not only did Miss Debbie Foreman push me, you pushed me. And in order for us to grow, we got to be able to transform our minds. It's like a computer. I say it all the time. Reset it. You know, you always bring up that word, start it over. And to me, that's been my most exciting journey is learning something new, learning to do different things. You're never too old, and collaborating. I collaborated with my family when I first got started, but to do something new is always truly a blessing, and that's the most exciting thing to me is learning new things in life because nothing stay the same. Nothing is going to be the same from today, from tomorrow.
So, okay,
Mm.
the 100 author movement, what inspired you to want to be a part of that, and to join that movement?
From the other projects I have done with you. I have done several with you. My first amount of you, I have done other platforms with you, and just you being humble and the things that I see that you do that I don't see other people do. You share your heart. It's one thing to tell someone to do something, but you share your heart. We could tell anybody to do anything, but it's what's inside of us. And for what I have seen, you are very outspoken. Everybody can't handle that, but you also inspiring at the same time. We speak from our heart. And because you have so many different women on there, 100 offers, guess what? That's a blessing alone because not only are we on this platform together, we are learning together. We are sharing together. There's some things about these other women that inspire me. It could be vice versa. It's all about collaboration. It's all about growth. It's all about coming together as one. They said we can't get along. We have proven that we can. And when you have a group that pray together and fast together, it's going to work anyway because you put that first. When we get on that 5 a.m. prayer, the authors, it was going to do that anyway. We was going to all do that. So that's why what inspired me to be, because I have been on several platforms with you, and it has been truly humbling. It has made me grateful, and I feel very blessed to be part of any collaboration that you do.
Wow. So, what are you looking to take away from being a part of this movement and this initiative?
I'm looking forward that we all um, let our light shine, that we all keep encouraging one another, not only one another, but let our light shine regardless of who it is. Also, I want to be that person that Cheryl, if it's only but one Cheryl, to let you know the doctor told me I have heart failure. The doctor has told me I have lupus. I had cancer and lupus at the same time. I had we have I am a single mom. But guess what? You can do it. Just keep pushing. So for another Cheryl, don't let whether it's financial, regardless of what it is, you keep pushing and don't listen to no one and say you can't do it based on your money, based on whatever the circumstance is. Because if you listen to other people that say it's not a good time or why you doing that, you won't never get anything done. So for me, the best advice I can give you is step out on faith. Trust him. We trust men. We trust iPhones. We trust other people. But when it comes to trusting ourselves, we have a big problem with that. We have to believe in ourselves before we can believe with anybody and collaborate. It starts with us. And once we give it to God and take our hands off, and let him use us and remember our story. He gave us our story before we even came out our mother's womb. And once we realize that, he already knows what's inside of us when we didn't even know. And just step out regardless of what it is. So that's why I'm connected to you. It's not so much what you say, it's your actions that I look at more than anything. Because we can all say a lot, but it's what's inside of us. Because wherever we go, we're going to bring ourselves wherever we go. So where are we bringing ourselves for 2025? I pray I bring myself to motivation, inspiration, a woman of God. I help the needy. I love it when we do so many bags for the needy. I love working at the food bank. That's not a boastful. That is what we're supposed to be doing. Our lives don't belong to us. So that's why I do the things that I do.
Wow. So, what can we look forward to seeing you doing? What do you have currently in the works, and what do you have coming up?
I started last night. I was going to keep it a secret. I'm working on a project now. I don't know if it's going to be a book or a journal, but I started. For 6 to 8 weeks, I got to let my mouth heal. And the enemy thought he was going to stop me and distract me. But all it did is make me say, you know what? Well, I got this time to heal. I could be doing something positive. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on, I don't know if it's going to be a book or a journal, but I started just writing down last night, okay, God, what is my next level? What do I need to be doing? And I also want to say the calendar is powerful alone. There's so many great opportunities for us. We don't have an excuse now in life to say what we can't do. We are work for somebody else for 30 years, and no disrespect, because I did it too. But it's time for us to do something for ourselves. I do trading. I do a lot of different things. We don't have to be all over the place. But as long as we're in order with Christ, guess what? It's going to work out. If we're going to be out of order for everybody else, you know, for our jobs, for our part time jobs, for even our children that we love. How about we step back for a little bit and say, you know what? What can I do? How can I tell somebody else, regardless whether you're married, regardless whether you're single, a man, a woman, young or old, you can do this because God created you. And if He created us, and that don't mean it's not going to be distraction. That don't mean things are not going to come. You just keep pushing and keep moving. Like Miss Angela always say, I will not be moved.
Wow. For that author that may be listening but may have some skepticism about joining the movement, or they may have some reservations about joining the movement, what would you say to them to encourage them to jump on board? It's only an investment of $25, and I think it is well worth the investment. Well, what would you say to that author that is looking for a supportive network? It's not competition, it's not a contest, it's not um, anything that it's going to take away from anything that you're doing, but if anything, it's going to add to what you are trying to do. What would you say to that author on today?
Take yourself out of it. And just think about there's somebody else that's going through what you're going through. That's number one. Take yourself out and just know that your story is so important to somebody else. And like she said, only $25. Think about when we go out to eat. Think about your cell phone. Think about when Christmas comes. You stand in line, you might get your son or daughter a game that costs $300, $400. That next year it's going to be something else. If you look at the investment, the legacy that you want to leave, like for me, the legacy I want to leave for my children, guess what? We always talk about slavery. They're going to look and say, oh, that go grandma. She was on a podcast. She was speaking. What do you want to leave for your family? What generational cycle? I'm not going to say generational curse. What generational cycle? Take yourself out that you want to leave not just for your kids, but somebody else and say, guess what? We got this and we can do this. And our race, we so much invest in materialistic things. But how about 2025? Invest in yourself and the legacy from your kids' kids to your kids' kids, and let them know that there's another way in life. Don't just live your life. beside of the same way what you did. I want mine. When you love Christ, I ain't say be perfect. He will direct your path. A lot of times we let man direct our path. Once you let God direct your path. I am a testimony. This ain't being boastful. The doctor told me I would never have kids. I had them 34, 36, 38. Also, the doctor told me they never seen anybody with cancer and lupus at the same time and heart failure, what they say. But I said, God has me. What did I cry? Did I have to pray? Yes. But I am a testimony, even during the cancer. This is the book that I produced, if you can see, even through chemo, even through radiation. When I had just a minute, I pushed through. So I just wanted to show you that and let you know for whoever listening, don't let nobody stop you because God has you.
Wow. That is truly amazing. As you can see, she is very active. She's always being a part of something. That is one of the calendars that she is featured in. She's always willing to share. um I thank her for her willingness. So before we leave, I always ask all of my guests to leave something inspirational, something with those that are tuned in or those that will hear the replay, that they can take away from everything that they've heard today. What is that one thing that you want them to take away, that you want to resonate with them, that may help them go to the next level?
I would tell anybody, first of all, they can find me on Facebook, Cheryl Northern LeGrand. They can find me on my author page, Northern LeGrand. And they can find me on TikTok, Survivor66. And they can find me on Instagram, Northern LeGrand. But what I wanted to say, I'm on something, Isaiah. Excuse me. Yes, I did. Shh, I'm sorry, Miss Angela. Can you shut the door? Thank you, Lord. Okay. The takeaway I would tell anybody, like I said, and I love this calendar for the price that Miss Angela charged. Number one, there's no excuse to get on. The takeaway that I want to tell everybody, like I said, step out on faith, meditate first, pray about it, and let God, regardless of what it is in your life. I just want you to know that it starts with our mind. That's it. If you it starts with our mind and it'll come out of our heart. And once it come out of our heart, let God use you in the area because He will direct your path. So for me, I hope I encourage you once again that I did this during chemo and radiation, and they said heart failure. Every off time I got, I started writing. So that's what I, and collaboration is powerful. Even if that's your beginning, everybody beginning is totally different. Just like now, I'm on here speaking. I have young adults in here. That didn't stop me from speaking. We got to stop letting things stop us because it's called a distraction. And once we can block out the distraction, we can go wherever we need to go in life. That's what I want to say.
Wow. Well, you definitely dropped some powerful nuggets on today. I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing with us. You shared a couple of places where people can find you. I want to make sure that they're able to get your books and they're able to connect with you. So, again, if you would share with the listeners how they can follow and support the things that you're doing.
I'm on Amazon. I'm on Amazon as Cheryl LeGrand. Once again, I'm also on Facebook, Cheryl Northern LeGrand. You can, and I also have an author page, but you can find me on Amazon. You put my name in on Amazon, Cheryl LeGrand, you will see everything I did, my 5 books and my journal. You'll see the podcast I did. You'll see everything I did with Miss Angela. Anything you want to know about me, all you gotta do is put it in Amazon and you can find me. But I'm on Facebook, Cheryl Northern LeGrand. I'm on Instagram, Northern LeGrand. I have an author page, Cheryl LeGrand. I'm on TikTok at Survival66. So you can find me like that. And I pray that I said something that will encourage someone today. Don't let what the doctor say have you. You have it, and I had to learn how to do that.
Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And again, thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on today. And I want to thank everyone that tuned in to share with us on today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you, I have truly, truly been blessed by Miss Cheryl on today. Y'all, let's give her a round of applause for coming on and sharing with. If you guys can come back tonight, I will be back here at 6 p.m. With Elijah K. Lewis. He is one of the 100 authors. If you haven't noticed, all of the authors that I have been interviewing over the last 2 days are a part of the 100 authors to watch for 2025. And I tell you, if you have not been catching these amazing individuals, you will have an opportunity to go back and hear the replay. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But of course, the replays are available through iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Music. You also can hear it on Deja. Listen notes. You can go to the website now over at Series 3, The Crew Podcast Network, and you will be able to listen to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. All things The Crew Podcast, them divas of the airways. So you may be able to hear the Free Texas campaign. You may be able to hear our first season, our second season, our prayer call. You may hear anything streaming. So if you go over and listen, there's no telling what you may hear. You may be educated, empowered, and encouraged. You may come to tears. But I tell you, whatever you need, we got it on the Crew Podcast because we are definitely being led by the one that created us. Um, I'm definitely thankful for this opportunity to be able to share these amazing individuals, y'all. Again, tune in tonight at 6 p.m. I'll be back with Elijah. Again, shout out to Shara Northern LeGrand for stopping by and sharing with us on today. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all. See you later.